Hi everybody, it's Anna Willats again with you. I'm really glad to be with you. I wanted to talk with you this week about a couple of things. First, I'd like to give you an update on what's been happening at City Hall. We've seen some amazing victories for the people of Toronto, but at the same time we have to be careful and not assume that the cuts that the mayor has proposed are not going to go ahead. So I'll talk with you more about that. I also want to talk to you about a couple of events coming up in the city to combat violence against women. Two events, protests and rallies that are about the issue of violence against women and children, and I want to tell you more about those. So first, update with City Hall. I talked to you last week about the fact that people were organizing and coming out strong.
It's not even my cat.
Oh, excuse me, a cat just got in the way, wanted on camera. Okay, we're back. So last week I talked to you about the amazing organizing that's been going on in this city at the grassroots level to fight the proposed cuts by the city that Mayor Ford and his allies have put forward, and as well to fight the backroom deals that we saw coming up in Councillor Doug Ford's plans to put a giant Ferris wheel and a hotel and a mega mall on Toronto's ports lands. So we've had a couple of things going on that people have really gotten outraged about and that have shown the true colors of the Ford administration. Like I say, backroom deals, plans to privatize, wiping out democratic processes that have been followed in the city for years, as well as seeking to scare people into thinking that we have to cut really essential services and programs in this city to be able to balance our budget. All of these things, of course, are not true, and people saw through the lies and the fear-mongering that was going on, and people, over 200 people showed up on September 19th and 20th to go to City Council and make deputations to the Executive Committee about what they love about this city and what they want to see preserved in this city. Just to update you, what's happened is that the Executive Committee was forced to back down and did not, in fact, vote for any, to bring forward any of the proposed cuts, which is a real victory for the people who appeared and for the thousands and thousands of people who have phoned, written, and confronted their councillors about these issues. However, we do need to keep alert and keep vigilant on these issues because it's very confusing what's happened. The Executive Committee has basically said we're not going to try to propose anything, and I believe what's happened is they put it over to a city manager, again foisting the hard decisions on the staff of the City of Toronto rather than taking those hard decisions themselves or unpopular decisions. And so they've given it to a city manager who is now going to look at all of the recommendations and could bring back the exact same set of cuts and reductions that we were arguing about this week. So that could still come forward. It's not clear what processes are going on. Some councillors like Adam Vaughan and Janet Davis are very, very concerned about what's happening. One thing we've got to remember is that the Ford administration, the right-wing councillors and the people who support Mayor Ford have lied to us up till now. We can basically count on whatever the mayor says. We should believe the opposite because he says no cuts and then proposes cuts. He says no service reductions and then he proposes services reductions. They say they're not going to touch the waterfront, then they come back and touch the waterfront. So I mean, we really can't trust a word out of this mayor's mouth, and so it's important for us to understand that if he is saying now that he supports what the people have said and that he will not bring in cuts, then we can be pretty much guaranteed that he's going to figure out a way to bring in cuts. So it's important for us to remain vigilant. There's a big rally on September 26th that I talked to you about before, the Respect for Toronto rally. There is also, in addition to that rally, which runs from 5:30 to 7:30, the Stop the Cuts Network, the Toronto Stop the Cuts Network, is also proposing for people to bring tents and be prepared to stay in Nathan Phillips Square all night. They want to take over Nathan Phillips Square on the 26th after the Respect for Toronto rally. They want to demand city services be saved. They want to defend good jobs. They want you to come and bring your tent, sleeping bag, food and supplies, prepare to stay overnight, and be up for breakfast in the morning and another rally in action to stop the cuts. So this battle isn't over, but we certainly have won the first step. All right, so on to anti-violence organizing in the women's community. Every year for 31 years now, Toronto's Rape Crisis Centre, Multicultural Women Against Rape, have organized an annual Take Back the Night rally. I've attended a lot of those, well over 25 of those. I'm sure many of you have been at rallies and marches before this as well. And the time for the 2011 Take Back the Night rally, the theme being the liberation we choose. In other words, the call for the right for women to self-determination about what happens to our bodies, what happens to our families, what happens in our lives. So we definitely support that call for self-determination, support the call for women to have control in their lives in order to be able to thrive and do more than just survive. So the Rape Crisis Centre has organized that rally. It's coming up real soon on Saturday, September 24th. The fair, that's a chance to check out resources from local community agencies that have programs and services for women who've experienced violence, including trans women. So the community fair starts at 4 p.m. The rally itself is from 6 to 8. That'll involve song and poetry and speakers and chants. And then the march goes from 8 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. And this is all taking place in a neighborhood, a new neighborhood for the Take Back the Night rally. It's happening up at the Ann Johnston Health Station, which is 2398 Yonge Street. That's at Eglinton, close to Eglinton, the Ann Johnston Health Station. You can find out more about the rally and how you can participate at Facebook. So look for Take Back the Night Toronto on Facebook, or Take Back the Night 2011 on Facebook. You can also call 416-597-1171. Extension 230 for more info. The rally, Take Back the Night, always looking for march marshals, people to guide the march and make sure that all of the women and children in the march are safe and able to focus on their chants and focus on taking the streets. Men are encouraged to show their support by doing lots of things. They can do childcare for the women in their lives so that the women are able to go to the march. Men can attend the rally and the community fair and show their support in that way. And they're also welcome to be on the sides of the march, on the sidewalks, maybe talking to men along the way who might not understand what the march is all about. A really great role for men to take is to talk to other men about violence against women and talk to other men about what they can do to help stop violence against women. And the last, so that's on September 24th. As I say, rally starts at 6 p.m. up at the Ann Johnston Health Station. Check out Facebook for Take Back the Night Toronto. The other thing I want to quickly tell you about is next Thursday, September 29th, from 3 to 5 p.m. at Queen's Park. I would like you to come and join myself, women and their allies from across the city, as well as women who work in interval and transition houses right across the province of Ontario, who are meeting for their annual general meeting that day. We're going to meet at Queen's Park on Thursday, September 29th, 3 to 5 p.m., and we're going to demand that all of the parties who want our votes in the upcoming provincial election step it up to end violence against women. When women do not need more police, that is not going to stop violence against women. Ankle bracelets on stranger sexual predators is not going to stop violence against women. Women know who it is that is abusing them. They know where these men are. They know who they are, and they identify them all the time to the police. So those solutions are not going to help women. What women need to end violence in their lives and protect themselves from violence, women need things like affordable child care. Women need things like affordable housing. We need minimum wages that reflect the true cost of living in Toronto and across the province. We need social supports, social assistance that allows us to feed our families and pay the rent. We need a justice system that truly holds men accountable and does not charge women when they try to bring complaints against the men who abuse them. The dual charging of women has gone through the roof in this province, and we need that to stop. We need a police force that understands that sexual violence is not a crime because women dress quote, like sluts. Sexual violence comes out of men's entitlement, out of their belief that they have the right for access to women's bodies whenever they want, and because they don't get held accountable. That's what causes sexual violence. So it's really important for all of us to get together, demand all the candidates, all the provincial parties, take real steps based on the advice of survivors and experts to stop this violence. And you can go to www.stepitupontario.ca for more information about the rally, to download materials that around questions you can ask candidates, and for lots of other information that we all need heading into the election on October 6th. I hope to see you at both of these rallies, and I hope to see you down at City Hall on September 26th for the Rally for Respect. Thanks a lot.